Why the sonata form? One of the oldest forms, and it's a little bit like this play that at least I played when I was a child, where you cut out a little doll form or a girl form. In my case, it was a Marianne, it was a French little doll. And then you cut out also different clothes. One is for going to the concert, one is for baking bread, one is for playing in the field, one is for going to school. So different uniforms, different roles of all of us in life. And then you would just stick them onto this form, this doll, with the little paper clips on the side, and then you would play, and then you would take them off, put another form. So the form on its own is the same, you just put different roles, you put different connotations, and for me, the sonata form and this album with sonatas by Boulez, Eisler, Bartók, Shostakovich and Scarlatti is playing in this way. Maybe a little bit more challenging than with the doll form, but the principle is basically the same. And I really wanted to find there is a wonderful German word, Wahlverwandtschaften, so kind of cousins or family connections between composers that never met or never could be put in one place because of differences in their time on Earth, but they still have some kind of mindset that connects them to this need to think forward. So avant-garde as a mindset for life, not just for art, and not just this one moment of avant-garde music in this time was my leading point. Of course, with Scarlatti you have a very small form in two parts, both of them repeated, and I've chosen one that it's a little bit like an epilogue at the end of the album that reminds you that this form has not always had the same cutout doll, and also that has a kind of a melancholy with a very straight back non-existence of sentimentality, but incredible concentration of expression, and it's bursting out of seams with the amount of things that it needs to say in this 3-4 minutes that it takes to do the storytelling. We have Bartók solo sonata from 1926 that has a very classical form that most of the people think about when you say sonata. So the outer movements are fast and the slow second movement. But as always with Bartók, he always took old means and old ways of expression and has done a complete change, because the corset that the sonata represents for him is making his creativity even more concise and to the point. So with him we always have this feeling that the wild beast is not far, but thank God we have the rules of the game that are not a prison, but like walls that he has built for himself. The Eisler sonata is, I always say, the sonata that Schönberg could have and maybe should have written. He was also a Schönberg pupil, and Schönberg had many compliments for this relatively small sonata. It's a language that it's completely devoid of any need to provoke, to question, or to reference the traditional way of writing at that moment. And it's very much has almost a cabaret feeling in it, a little irreverent, very much taking just the time that it needs to say something and being very jumpy and changing its mind all the time. So very much the discovering this moment and this age in the 20s. The Shostakovich First Sonata is the sonata that he had most success with as the pianist, and it's the least performed for who knows what reason. Again, so much put in such a little time. We have moments of incredible, almost like drug-induced parfums and mystery moments that we find very much by Scriabin as well. And then also this Prokofiev and what we know later from Shostakovich, this machinelle, this industrial pacing and a lot of percussiveness from the instrument that he's seen. I believe very much that all of these sonatas highlight what Boulez then explodes in the 40s after the Second World War. And I do believe that all of them needed this reference of the sonata musical form so that they can kind of elbow themselves in their creativity and redefine their ways of using the language in this very old form.